welcome back to the live. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. And I saw a couple of you guys just kind of waiting in the wings there for the start up. That's awesome. I love you guys are coming early. I'll do my best to start on time when I do these. And that way you're not waiting too long or anything. But thank you guys who showed up early and just kind of hung out and stuff. So I've been trying to start the live stream just by kind of reminding people two things. If you would do this for me. One, support the channel somehow. That can be like participating in the chat. It can be hitting the thumbs up. It can be any of that stuff. And if nothing else, your presence is enough. You can just hang out and watch, and just that viewership is enough to support the channel. So thank you for that. And I forget what number 2 was. We'll come around to it. Happy New Year, Karen. Happy New Year. It's good to see you in the chat. I'm so glad you stopped in. It's my my birthday singing gal. Karen called me up and gave me a happy birthday song whenever it was my birthday. So thank you for stopping in. But good evening, everyone. I'm going to give people just about 2 minutes, and then I'll kind of get into this. I have my trusty notepad here, so I came somewhat organized. But I promise I'll be a little bit scatterbrained on this one. And I'm only saying that because I was struggling today. I had a little tension headache thing going on, but I think I got my Excedrin migraine in me, and I've been sucking down water, so I think I'm clearing it up. But I'll be honest, I didn't feel like jumping on and doing this, but I'm feeling better now. I kind of got it worked out, I think. So I'll be a little scatterbrained, but I'll work through it. We'll just give people about a minute or two, though, to kind of catch up. Have you guys been out on the water? Do you have any questions for me? If you have been out, we'd love your input in the chat, because ultimately that's what we're here to do. And we're here to share. We're here to learn. We're trying to grow this lake into this community here at the lake, into a community that catches fish, that we share information with one another so that we all become better fishermen at this fishery that we all love. So if you guys have something to share, any input, any questions to ask, nothing's off limits. The big question that I get asked often is like about locations. And you'll notice pretty quickly when I talk about locations, I'm going to be a little bit nebulous with that. There's a reason for that. It's simply because I don't think I'm going to make too many friends by giving away the exact location that they call their spot. But I will absolutely point you in the right direction so that you, whenever you get out there, you're thinking correctly. And ultimately, isn't that what fishing's about? It's about reading the water, reading the lake, learning how to actually get on fish. And then you can apply that throughout the year on all parts of the lake and even on other lakes that you might go visit. So we're here to learn how to do that together. But good evening, everyone. Good evening. I think that's it. I think that's long enough. I think we can get into this. So if you haven't done the thumbs up yet, I'd appreciate it if you would. And I'm going to just jump into this. All right. So thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I think that I want to talk about ice fishing, because I don't know if you noticed this. We got a little bit of snow. That gets your mind thinking about the winter season for fishing. I am still taking charters out, though it has slowed down. There's not as many charters going out. I am one of the ones that's still active. I'm not going out every day or anything like that, but we're still on the water. Thursday is the day this week that's still open. If you guys want to come out with me, Thursday is the day, and I can take up to 3 people with me. So if you guys want to come fishing with me, we're going. I still have 3 seats open. That's the ride-along ticket. That's the $100 ticket, so you don't have to buy the whole charter. Just purchase a seat on the boat. It's $100. But send me a message if you want to do that. My phone number is on all my socials, or you can just send me a message through Messenger, but use Facebook for that. It's probably the best place, the quickest place to get a hold of me other than my cell phone. And if you don't have my cell phone by now, I'm just assuming it's because you don't want it, because that's where it's at. If you guys want to reach out anytime, shoot me a text. I love to talk fishing, and it's especially true for my veteran guys. You guys want to reach out to me, I'm happy to chat. So, all right. So, ice. This year, I'm going to be getting my permit so that I can go fishing up at Foster Sayers. And Foster Sayers is just north of Raystown. It's up by State College. And they do really good on the ice fishing there for yellow perch and crappie. And that's something I'm going to do. I'm going to take people out and do a little bit of that this year. And I want to invite everybody to do that because it's the simplest way to get involved, the least expensive way. So if you guys have never tried ice fishing, you're not alone. That's right. I'm going to take people ice fishing, and I'm a novice at it. So I'm really stretching myself to do that, and maybe you guys want to do that too. If so, reach out to me. But ice fishing is right in front of us. Becca, good evening. It is good to see you once again. Thank you for stopping in. Fish King's Cutlery is in the chat as well. Good evening. So Bradley, that's Fish King's Cutlery. Bradley and I we're probably going to end up going ice fishing together. So even though my experience is almost zero, I have good friends. That's why I'm confident enough to know that we can go out and do this. So hopefully you guys want to be a part of that. If you do, by all means, I'm your guy. Goofy Outdoors, good evening. I don't remember your name. This might be the first time I'm talking with you. Have we met? Maybe we've met in person. I'm going to talk about that kind of in a minute too. Next week's forecast is looking good for forming ice. Yes, we have. All right. Well, Goofy Outdoors. I just don't know your screen name. That's all. Yeah, it does. It looks like we're going to get a drop in the air temperature, which of course is going to make the water hard. All right. Any friend of Mark's? It's a friend of mine. Welcome to the chat, man. Thanks for stopping by for the live stream. Appreciate that. We're going to actually talk about Mark just a little bit here in a few minutes too. Awesome. It's good to see you. It's growing, guys. There's something happening here. The culture, the community here at Raystown is growing, and that's really exciting. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do here this interim period between now and the next community event that I'm holding. There's a little bit of a time period here. There's not much going on because of the time of year it is. And we're going to fill that in with some ice fishing. And I do have some videos I'm going to put together for you guys too. Number one is going to be the year in review video, which I'm still working on. I haven't forgot about it, and I'm pretty excited about it. And but then number two is I want to do a thing with my lures too. But so I have some stuff to bridge that time in between, and of course I'll be doing my dock updates for you guys. You guys like the dock updates still? They didn't get boring on you? I've been trying to do those once a week so that you guys at least have your your finger on the pulse, so to speak, so you know what's going on at the lake. So I'm trying to do them every week for us. So even if you can't make it to the lake, you get a little snap, a little snapshot of what the docks look like anyway. So the dock update has been popular. But yeah, Foster Sayers is yellow perch and crappie, and it's a fantastic fishery, guys. If you go to this lake to fish, no fishing trip is guaranteed, but guys, you're going to catch fish here. This is it's a harvest kind of trip. So if you want to work toward filling if you've never gotten a limit of panfish, this is the Foster Sayers is the lake to go and get your first limit of panfish. So get your fillet knife sharpened up before you even go up, and come back expecting to fillet some fish. So what I'm saying is you're going to do good with it. Bring the kids out, get involved. It's a fun thing to do. I'm going to set my tent up right on the ice, drill some holes in the ice, and I'm going to pull my tent right over top of it and put the heater on. So you'll be inside out of the air or out of the wind, and we're just gonna do some jigging like that. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time doing it. I think it'll be a great family experience too. So that's ahead of us. Just keep that in mind, and shoot me a message if you're interested. Just text me or something like that. Just reach out, make sure I'm talking with you. So we mentioned Mark just a second ago. Let me do this real quick. I wanna share my screen with you, and there we go, right here. Mark is he's a kayaking YouTuber. You guys know him as Only Fins, so you guys can check out his YouTube. But he's got a kayak here that you guys should be familiar with. It is, why did it jump on me? Here we go, right here. So this is it right here. It's the Jackson Coosa. And I'm just going to flip through the pictures real quick. And you guys can look it up here. This is the tag for it right up here. Just Jackson Coosa HD. And you'll know it's him because it's in Bell font. But he's selling this kayak. Guys, if you don't remember why this kayak looks familiar to you, last year's Paddlin' and Bassin', this is the kayak that I used. And so I can fully vouch for it. It's an incredible kayak. So if you guys are shopping for a kayak, this is a great option here. And of course, I want to show it to you because it's my buddy Mark is trying to move it. So reach out to OnlyFins, Mark, and he's getting rid of this kayak. And guys, if you're part of the community, if you know me, if we've been talking, if you have something like this that you have listed, it's really better if we sell it within our own community before we sell to just random people out there. So by all means, send me the link for it or even just the pictures, whatever it is, if you have the details, and I'll share it on this live stream with everybody. But that's Mark, and he's got the Coosa HD. So by all means, just look it up. Jackson Coosa HD. It's in Bell font, and then send him a message, and he'll get right back to you. The second one was our friend Jerry. So Jerry is a guy who's going out and he's fished with me, and he actually just listed a couple pen reels, and he's actually got them spooled up too. So there's a pair of them here. It's 2 fishing reels. That's what you punch into the search bar to find it, and you'll know it's them because he's in Lewistown. So 2 fishing reels. But there's these 2 pen warfares, they're called. These are 20s, and they're great trolling. So if you're trolling down at Lewistown, that's what those ones would be for. So, and it's got the level wind on it too. Let me get the picture so you can see it. A little level wind right here. And that just keeps the spool going back or the line going back and forth on the spool so that it doesn't get bunched up in the middle. Keeps it level. That's the level wind. All right. And that's it for my ads for folks. So basically what it is, these are guys who are in our community and they have something they're selling. So of course I wanted to show you guys. I knew about it, so I wanted to share it with y'all, you know. Hey, I see my daughter is in the chat. Everybody say hi, Alla Smith. That's Alla Smith. That's my daughter. Good evening, sweetie. I love you. Thanks for coming over. Wyatt, good evening. I see you, buddy. Moldy. Really? Moldy's in the house. Now, that's a friend of my daughter's. Special shout out to Moldy. That's in Tennessee. All the way down in Tennessee. Loves right back to you. All right, so if we have something in the community going on, of course, I want to share that with everybody so that you guys know as well. Now, this is, I talked about this interim period we have between now and our next community event. And I want to talk about something in the interim other than ice fishing. But before I do that, I want to talk about what the next event is. The next event is, if you haven't been following, is Fishin' and Grillin'. Now, you guys can probably guess by the name Fishin' and Grillin'. Oh, look at this. I got the same hoodie on I have in the picture. Fishin' and Grillin' is a spin-off of Fishin' and Chillin'. I call these the bookends. Fishin' and Chillin'. That's the end. That's the end of the fishing year, as far as my head is concerned. Fishin' and Grillin' is the start. So what we're looking at is March 28th through the 31st. This is a shorter event than. I was going to bring up my calendar there, but it's not popping up. But just look at the calendar, and you'll notice this is right at the end of the month. So the 28th actually falls on. Let's see, January, February, March. The 28th ends up falling on a Thursday. And so the 28th is the day I'll probably set up either the 27th or the morning of the 28th. I'm not sure yet. And then it goes through the 29th, the 30th, and then the 31st will be a pack-up day. The idea of Fishin' and Grillin' rather, is to kick off the beginning spring bite. So if you didn't know when to start fishing again, there you go. I got you covered. Just show up for Fishin' and Grillin'. Same location, right at Nancy's Boat to Shore, and it's the same setup. You just come out, you set up your tent, you can camp over, you can come down and just fish for the day. I'm of course going to be doing my ride-along tickets, and you guys can come out and ride with me or ride with a friend. And I'm thinking about doing another Follow Randall Day, because that was kind of a big deal. People really liked that, and I enjoyed doing it with them. So it was a good day out. Whew, a lot there. I'm going to pause just for a second just so that I can catch up and read your comments here. That's right, I'm spreading the word, sweetie. Goofy, I see, is it windy where I'm at? Yes. It's going to build up, too. Over the next couple days, that's going to be the big concern. If you're on the water, it's going to be wind. I do a lot of spot lock kind of activities. I do a lot of vertical jigging, and so I stop, and then I do my fishing. So the wind doesn't bother me so much. It actually helps. It keeps the boat oriented into the wind, so it's pretty consistent, something I can predict. Each time I pull in a position, I know how the boat's going to stop and kind of point. So that helps me move my boat around to pinpoint where these fish are, and I can really fish them hard. So yeah, lots of wind over the next couple days. If you're trolling, it's going to kind of toss your boat around. It might be a little frustrating. If you're trolling, you might want to just troll either in the wind or, just hold some direction, but be thinking of the wind when you're trolling, because you're going to have to hold that direction. Or go back in the coves. Yeah, wow, I bet. A fighter jet outside of your house. It's that heavy. Wow, wild. Harold, good evening. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying hi. Hi. Hi right back at you. I appreciate you stopping in, man. Yeah, you bet, Mark. Yeah, I'm happy to share it. Yeah, and I'm going to do that. If there's a listing that's from a local, if you guys know of something, just let me know, and I'll throw it out here just so that we're all kind of thinking community mindset here. If somebody's in our community, especially in our community, maybe we can share those links and just kind of pump it up a little bit. So if somebody is looking, they'll first see the people that are in our community. And of course, Mark has been a long time in this community, so we want to push his out there right in the front. Bird, good evening. And Rick, good evening. Man, you guys are awesome. We have a great showing tonight. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in. Do the thumbs up if you haven't, and say hi in the comments. That helps a ton. The algorithm with YouTube doesn't know what to do unless we interact. So appreciate every comment, every thumbs up, every share, everything like that. It helps the channel boost. And but I'm not going to complain, because my channel's doing so good, and that's because of you guys. You guys have been incredible for it. Not just for the channel, but for the charter and for my heart. So thank you guys. Appreciate that. So staying on course now. We have the Fishin' and Grillin' event coming up, and we just had Fishin' and Chillin'. So we have this dark period now. We got the ice season. So we got some ice fishing we're going to mix in the middle there. But I want to talk about a community thing that we can do together, and this is the first time I'm bringing it up, and I want your input. Yours, yes. If you're watching, I want your input. This is what I want to do for us. During this interim period, I want to fill it with something community-minded. And the first thing, the simplest thing, the easiest way to do that, of course, when people get together, what's the one activity we can all agree on? Food. So what I want to do for us during this interim period is a Sportsman's Luncheon. I just want to get together. There's no cost to this. You just buy what you're going to eat. And I was considering a couple restaurants in the area, and I keep coming back to doing it at Happy Hollow. I tried to call Happy Hollow today, and I couldn't get anybody on the phone. So I'm not sure if that's going to be an option. I hope there's nothing wrong with Happy Hollow. There's a lot of businesses that are struggling right now. But if you guys know of a restaurant that would host or has a room big enough that we can kind of get together and just order some cake and pie together, or a sandwich, whatever it is. And what I'll do is I'll put together maybe like a 30-minute discussion, and I have some ideas for that. As you can imagine, I got some ideas, some stuff we can cover. But that'll give us a chance to come together and maybe learn a little something about the lake in a different format, something that's more intimate, something you can ask questions directly. We can have some debate on it and stuff, and maybe work through some of the harder issues that we're faced as anglers. But yeah, so it's going to be a Sportsman's Luncheon, and I'm thinking to do this next weekend. So not this weekend right in front of us, but next weekend. And if I were to pick a date, I would say it would be on either the 20th or the 21st. So that's a Saturday or a Sunday, and it would probably end up being the 20th because a lot of places are just closed on Sunday. So the 20th is the day that I have in my mind, just suggesting it, just throwing that out there. But what are your thoughts on it? Is there a place that's better suited for fishermen to get together? And why, the 7 Points Bait and Grocery is a seasonal, so they're not open this time of year. And Goofy, you're saying that, are you saying 7 Points is seasonal, which I do agree with? I don't think Happy Hollow is seasonal. Does anybody know for sure? I'm asking you guys. This is the input part. If you have a restaurant in mind that you think is pretty accessible, it's definitely going to run it. I have my notepad in front of me. I'm going to write these down and I'm going to check with them. Okay, yeah, you were talking about 7 Points as well. Yeah, 7 Points Bait and Grocery is definitely a seasonal place. So they're down for the year. My first choice was, of course, right across the street from them at Backwoods Smoke Shack. But again, they're seasonal, so we can't go there. But Happy Hollow is pretty high on my list because I love that restaurant. I think it's a great restaurant, great family restaurant and all that stuff. And I know that the Striped Bass Association meets there frequently. So they're already in the loop. They're already part of the fishing community. So I like to support groups like that or restaurants like that. But if you guys have an idea, shoot it to me in a message. Give me a call. Put it in the message or just do it in the chat right now. And we'll talk about that, okay? The Spruce Creek Tavern. Where is the Spruce Creek Tavern? I'm going to write it down, but where is that? What town is it nearest? I'm just going to write it down. Spruce Creek Tavern. Okay. Oh, it's in Spruce Creek. Thanks. Thanks for stating the obvious for me. I appreciate that. All right, so Spruce Creek. What I did, I wrote it down. I'll look it up and maybe check with them. So it's between Huntingdon and State College. I think what in my head, and there's probably nothing wrong with that. It's not too far or anything. I know we got Diner 22 up that way as well. We've got what's the Italian restaurant right there on up the street from 22, from Diner 22. It's like Paisanos, I think. So those restaurants again, but they're a little bit removed from the lake. So what I was hoping for was something down right next to the body of water. So the reason Happy Hollow is such a good choice, I thought, was because it's only 10 minutes from the Weaver Falls ramp and maybe 15 minutes from James Creek, something like that. So it's within striking range, if you will. But yeah, it's a good suggestion. I wrote it down. I'm going to check it out. If you guys have any other ideas, just by all means, shoot me a message, and I'll check them out too. You get dipsy divers up by the lake. Yes, you can get them from what's it called? What's it called up in Huntingdon? So when you're heading west out of Huntingdon, like you're going to Lewistown, it's on the right-hand side. If you're heading west, it's Raystown Fishin' and Hunting. Raystown Fishin' and Hunting. I know they carry dipsy divers. You can do that. I actually recommend that you don't get dipsy divers, but you get slide divers. Slide divers are made by a company called Dreamweaver. You can check them out. And then Bradley, Fish King Cutler, he's recommending Woody's. I'm going to write Woody's down too. So whatever the location is that we pick, I'm thinking it's going to be on the 20th. And I should write that down too. And it is a luncheon, so it would be in the middle of the day at a time that's not going to drag you out of bed real early or anything like that. And it would be, okay, we got a second Goofy saying Woody's is good too. And it would be a good one for, it would be good if the place did breakfast all day, because a lot of people like to go to restaurants and just get breakfast. It's less expensive, and who doesn't like bacon and eggs? So that's a good one too. Hopefully they do. I'll check with Woody's then. I'll put a little star next to Woody's. If anybody has any other ideas, just shoot them to me. I started to say something, and I didn't want to trail off too much. But it is a luncheon, so it would be in the middle of the day on the 20th is what I'm thinking of. And it's going to be a place that's within striking distance of the lake. So if you go to the lake at all, you're probably going to know the restaurant already. But I'll make sure you know ahead of time. I'll make sure that I put it out there so you guys aren't confused at all. And then Fishin' and Grillin' will be the next event after it. So between now and Fishin' and Grillin', we still have things going on. You can still kind of get, participate and such. Be part of the community, so to speak. So Woody's doesn't have a breakfast menu. Okay. We'll still check with them. That's not a broken deal there. Really, the idea is to come together and, and I'll do a little presentation. I think I do want this to be like a very informal, educational kind of thing. I want this is going to be an intelligent meeting when we get together. Hopefully, there's someone more intelligent than me that can actually speak about something intelligently. But I'll do my best to try and get somebody who's got some input. You know what I mean? And I'll bring them along with me. But this community, we've got a lot of good fishermen, so I don't think that's going to be impossible. I had some ideas already, some people in mind. One of the things I wanted to talk about here, and it's something that I really hate about myself that I do, and I don't mean that in a very negative way, but I think it's something a lot of us struggle with. And I was, just to paint the picture here, I ran down to do the dock update, and as I was pulling out, a guy I know, Buck, he's putting his boat in. He's going to go out and do some fishing, and Buck is there, and he's talking to me, and I pull up. He's like, "Hey, Randall, it's good to see you." I'm like, "Hey, and I recognize him. I know who he is, guys. I didn't remember his name though, and I couldn't place it. Like, this is something that I really struggle with, and it's all for the best reasons. It's the community is growing. It's just getting big, and I'm interacting with so many people. Guys, if I walk up and I just don't recognize you, or I can't place your name or something, please forgive me. Have patience with me. I'm not great at remembering all that stuff. That's something I really dislike about myself, and I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to stay in the moment and just really remember everything, because that's what life is. It's memories strung together. I try to remember everything, and of course, just like most people, I can't. So my apologies if I've done that to you guys. It is not intentional. It's just I joke around, and my brain's like a shot glass. You try to put a gallon of milk in there, you're going to spill a little bit, right? So just bear with me. It is not personal, but special shout out to Buck tonight too. That's that. Feels good to get that off my chest. That's probably heavier on me than it is for you guys, but all the same. All right, so apparently Woody's is a chain in Florida that has one random location in Pennsylvania. Interesting. Wow. Well, you got to know your roots. Florida. You guys probably know by now I'm a big fan of Florida. The Gulf Coast, Florida, specifically. I like Panama City area. I think that's most of my notes. I don't have much else to cover there. So you guys got any questions, throw them at me. I'm going to be out on Thursday, and we're going to go find them, and we're going to light them up. So if you guys want to come, I still have 3 seats open. That's what I was saying. It's a ride-along ticket. It's a $100 ticket, and we're going to go out and just light these Lakers up. They are stacked thick, and they're hungry. So we're going to go feed them. We're going to take some pictures. Fish seekers bird. I don't know what a fish seeker is. Kind of sounds like it might be a fish hawk. Is that what it is? Fish hawk checks the temperature at your different depths and such. I'm not sure what a fish seeker is. I'm writing it down now. I'm writing it down. Fish seeker. It's like a dipsy, but it tracks straight. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch it in here, and then I'll share it with everybody. Oh, okay. Davis Instruments is what it's by. So let me share this. So this is a fish seeker right here. Oh, that's a good recommendation. No, I don't have any experience with these. I have seen them, of course. And get a better picture. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It looks like it'll work good. Yeah, like you said, they're going to dive straight, though, which isn't negative. You could pull these behind boards, so you could use a board to push it off to the side. And it'd have to be a big board, so it'd have to be, you know, a proper size, a large board, think of like a big offshore tackle board. I don't know if what do they call them, the Magnum or whatever it is, just the bigger ones. And then this would pull it down. So your board would take it out, this would pull it down, and then you would get your depth and your spread that you're looking for. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's a good one. Are you thinking of picking some up? Yeah, thanks, Mark. You get it. You try to say someone's name. Yep. I'll be like, hi, it's nice to meet you. What's your name? Buck. And I'll be like, immediately I just forget. I can't even remember till the end of the conversation. Which size slide diver do I use? It's like the number one. It's just like the number one dipsy. It has all the same numbers and such, as far as depth and stuff, just very similar. I find that if you just work with it, though, you'll learn really quickly what the depths are, and when you adjust how much swing and pull it gets to the side, you'll learn, you kind of figure it out, and you really just have to use them. But keep in mind, that's only so good, right? Like, that's if you're pulling a straight line at a consistent speed with a certain diameter of line and all that stuff. Most of us we don't operate under those perfect conditions. You're at Lewistown Lake, your boat's going to be doing this right here, right? I mean, it's going to be all over the place, avoiding trees, dealing with the wind, turning around so you can come back to where the fish are. Because if you found the fish, don't leave. I call it a clover leaf. When I troll an area, I do this right here. I just troll around. I do these big, like, clover leaf kind of things. And so my planer boards are usually, my planer boards too, but my slide divers are usually pretty tight to the boat. With my number ones, I use two settings. I use the 0 setting, which just makes it dive straight down, and I'll send those straight down off the back, you know what I mean, off either side. And then I use setting 4, which is maximum to the side, and I send those out to the side, so as far as they'll let them go, and as they'll plane out. But I keep it tight enough so that I can still do my cloverleaf pattern, and I just accept the fact that the ones that are on 4, those are shallow presentations. Now, still got to be careful, because you can get snagged up pretty easily if you're not paying attention. You can get back on your stuff. If you turn too tight, your lines will get crossed, and it'll be a mess, and you don't want to do that. But you have to use it and practice it, and you'll figure out you can't let out 150 feet of line to get your depth. You let out 150 feet, you're going to have tangles at Lewistown Lake. So, and then you can get, instead of just using the number 1 size, which is about that big, I have the ring on it too. So I have the number 1 with the little clip-in black ring that goes on it. Makes it dive a little bit more. You can get the larger ones, like the Magnum size, just like the Dipsies. You can get large ones. They're more expensive, and they dive harder. So you can mess around with that stuff and really get into it. I find that I'm good with my number 1 size. And I understand that. I know where it's going with how far I put it out. And when you make a turn, on the inside, everything slows down. And on the outside, everything speeds up, right? So if I'm turning, everything's really fast on the outside turn. Everything's slow on the inside turn. So my lures are changing the speed of their presentation all the time. The wind blows, if the wind blows from the rear, it's going to speed you up. And if you're hitting a headwind, it's going to slow you down. So all those things are going to throw off your speed. It's not going to be consistent at all. Goofy. I get that. Yeah. That's like level 2. That's tier level 2. See, number 1, you just don't remember names. Number 2 that you're talking about, you've got names you've remembered and you're just sorting through them, trying to remember which one applies to the person you're at. That requires some level of intelligence. I'm not there yet. I'm still failing. Oh, Goofy, you were told you're going to be in your prime at 26, huh? Yeah, right. You're right. I was just talking to my roommate tonight. He made a great comment. He goes, "Thank God for old age." How often do you hear that comment being made? And I said to him, that's the right attitude. I remember who I was at 26. Thank God I'm not him anymore. Oh my gosh. I wish I could tear that part of my history out and just throw it away, you know? It's good. You guys are interacting with me really good tonight. I appreciate that. If you haven't done the thumbs up, thank you. If you would. And if you have done the thumbs up, thank you. Appreciate you guys. All that stuff really helps the channel out. Every comment, every share, every thumbs up, all that interaction matters. And guys, if all you're doing is hanging out, watching the stream, thank you too. Because ultimately, viewership participation helps the channel grow too. The algorithm does see that. So thank you. Appreciate that. Very good. Yeah, it's a really good stream, guys. I'm enjoying it. I was a little worried because my head was so messed up here going into it. But as we're talking, I'm kind of getting the juices flowing. I'm sipping on my water. I think I'm kind of clearing it out. My head is clearing up. I took some Excedrin migraine before it, so I think it's finally like full effect now. I think it's helping. It's water. It's water. I promise it's water. It's water. Bradley, hopefully we get a chance to ice fish Raystown. Well, if we're gonna ice fish down at Raystown, I think we're looking at Shy Beaver. Shy Beaver is usually the dock that freezes up. That's usually where it's happening. And I do have an idea where we could go there. So if it freezes up, let's talk about it. If it freezes up, I think I have a spot there at Shy Beaver we can use. I think so. Goofy. Yeah. I'm just carrying on, guys. I promise it's actually water. When I was doing, I worked life insurance sales for a long period of time, like 6 years, something like that. That's part of my income, that actually pays me a little bit still, if you guys were wondering. But when I did that, it was for like 6 years. I remember there was a house I went into and the guy was sitting with me, just some old country hillbilly, You can imagine I got along good with country hillbillies, right? And we sat down and he asked me, "Hey, you want to try some of my wine?" And I laughed. I said, "You mean, do I want to take a shot?" And he laughed, And what he ends up doing is brings out some stuff that he made. And we had 2 drinks, 2 shots. And of course, I'm making that face, right? And he gave me a beer to wash it down. And I don't drink much, right? So that was a lot for this old boy. And I told him, I said, "Well, I think I'm going to hang out for a little bit." So we just hung out and, shot the breeze and stuff. Just 2 country hillbillies back in the woods. It was a good trip. It was worth the drive, I'll tell you that. Hunter Run Cut is sometimes frozen safe, and the rest of the lake is open water. Okay. All right, very good. So this is great, man. I appreciate that feedback because there's things about this lake. Every year I learn more about this lake. And without this kind of interaction from the community, like, I've been on the lake a long time, guys, and I'm still learning stuff every single year. And it's little things like that right there. If I had been an ice fisherman for the last 20 years, oh, that's not Raystown. Oh, that's Sayers. Okay, very good. So, well, there you go. I'm new to Sayers, so that makes sense. I thought Hunter Rum was just a section that I didn't know. So by sharing it, see, you just taught me. You just corrected the error of my way. I tell you what, though, you said, whenever you said Hunter Run, I was actually in my head, I'm thinking maybe he means Coffee Run. I wonder if Coffee Run wouldn't be good, too. But yeah, the Cut. Yeah, the Cut is the place. Yeah, if you say the Cut, I know where you're talking about. We all do that fish up there. And I think that lake, we got to think of, like, as far as Huntington is concerned, if you start looking at the bodies of water around Huntington, I mean, what you have Raystown Lake, and then just to the northeast you have Foster Sayers up in Howard, Pennsylvania, and then if you go up on the mountain up Crescent Way, you got Glendale Lake up in Glendale, and the other's Perez. Of course, we overlook the river sometimes, don't we? Don't we overlook the river? Like right now, we should all be out on the Juniata just crushing walleye. But what are we doing? We're talking about Raystown. See, the chinks in my armor. I'm telling you, I can almost see Juniata River from my window here in my bedroom, and yet I don't go. I could walk down and fish it. Why don't I? Chinks in my armor, man. It's right there. So we learn a little bit every year, and if it weren't for this community that we're putting together here, it's really exciting, and y'all are a part of that. This community is pulling together with information to share to help you be more successful. We're not going to catch each other's fish for one another. We still have to go out and be the fisherman and the fisherwoman to make it happen. But ultimately, a little bit of information will help. It'll go a long way. So I appreciate you guys sharing information. If you want to know why I talk so much about it, it's why I'm trying to be so open about it. It's because that purpose is so much bigger. It's so much bigger than just catching a fish. Being able to go out and figure out a fishery is incredible, especially if you take the kiddos out. Who's going to argue about a kid smiling holding a bass? Exactly, Goofy. Forget about the river as soon as you get a boat. What a shame. Paddling and bassing is the answer to that. If you guys have a kayak, a canoe, anything that floats, you can go out on an inner tube. It doesn't matter. By the way, I'll talk about that in a minute. But come out for paddling and bassing. We have 2 events each year now. It's done in the spring and in the fall. These are 2 different locations on the Juniata River. We put the boat in, and paddling and bassing is designed to be an overnight camping and kayaking trip, and it's guided. Like, we organize it for you. All you got to do is show up and go with the flow, quite literally. And so we'll camp, wake up in the morning and fish all day, and camp, wake up in the morning and fish all day, and then take out. So it's a 2 overnight camping and kayaking expedition, and you can come out for one day of it. You can come out for the whole thing. It's whatever you want to do. Heck, you could come out and just camp if you want. But bring something afloat. I think you'll be glad you did. Fishing and Chilling is probably going to be the #1 biggest event that we've put together. It's been incredible. There's a lot of people coming out to it, and I think you guys would be glad if you did too. Yeah, I think so, Mark. It probably is probably is pretty chalky. A heavy stain, I'm sure. With this rain we got and all the snow and stuff, everything was just, I don't know if you guys went out driving at all today. Most of you probably did. It's just a sloppy mess. Tomorrow, I think we're going to see that stuff finally settle down, clear up. Goofy, do I have flood insurance? Yeah, I might need it. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, it's going to be rough. Now, Raystown, though. Raystown's okay. I'm going to be pushing Snyder's for between now and fishing and grilling, so I'm not worried about it. It gets super clear up on that end of the lake. I'm not worried about the stain. we're going to do good. You guys are being awesome tonight. I thank you for all the feedback, a lot of participation. Thank you for that. If you haven't said anything yet in the comments, say hi. Just say hi to me. I'll say hi back to you. I'll shout your name out here over the web. And then, you can clip it and save it to your Facebook and all that stuff. The lower half of the lake almost never gets muddy. That's correct. Doug, good evening. I'm glad you made it, buddy. Happy birthday. Belated. Yeah, so that's why I'm down there. I can still fish it. I'm not worried about it. I did with Fishin' and Chillin', I tried to break away from what I was doing already and do something different. I have this mindset that I'd like to do something different. It's the independence, I guess. It's the freedom that we all have. Is when we get on the water, you don't have to do the thing that everybody's doing. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want to do. So we did a lot of exploring. I had some guys out that were qualified fishermen, and so we did some exploring. These are guys who don't have to catch, every 20 minutes or something like that. These are guys who are happy to go out and just work the lake and learn about it. And I love that kind of fishing. I love that kind of camaraderie. I feel like we learn more by doing that. So it was good too. It was good. Fishing and chilling this year, guys, was incredible. It was the number one biggest turnout we've ever had. And people were catching fish. People were camping over. We were cooking. We were hanging out. We had good conversation. It was just a great, great experience. And everybody who participated in, bar none, had a good time. As far as I know, no one's complained about it. I haven't got any hard critiques or anything. It was just a good time. A couple, hey Trip, good evening. Thanks for stopping over to my fishing channel. Trip is, he's a biker. He's in my biker family. It's good to see you. Check out his YouTube channel. You'll like it. But yeah, it was a great turnout this year. And I think, again, fishing and chilling, it's dependent on the weather. I know that, but I think that's one of those events that's going to continue to grow too. I love it. It's my favorite event of the year. Even though paddling and bassing is probably going to overtake it as far as numbers, I can't give up my fishing and chilling. I love winter camping, and I love doing something that not everybody does. So join me next year if you missed it. And fishing and grilling is right in front of us. Hydrocoat, good evening. Better late than never. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I have just a couple more minutes with you guys. If you have any questions for me, I'm going to stay on for the full hour tonight. So I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes. So if you have something to ask, by all means, shoot me a question. Let's get into it. Okay, you sent me something on Messenger. All right. Let me jump into it here. Give me a second. I'll bring it up and share it with you. This right here. Oh, yeah, so yeah, it's another diver. This is a pretty aggressive diver, right? I haven't used these, but yeah, they're strong divers. And you can get these in different sizes. You see down the bottom, it's different sizes. I haven't used them. I cannot recommend, or I can't really say much about them just because I don't have an opinion on them. I can't say good, I can't say bad, but how would you use them up at the lake? Use them the way they're designed to be used? I don't know how to really answer that without... I'm going to be ignorant on that one, man. Sorry. Wyatt, I just don't use them. I've seen them hanging on the racks, and they look like aggressive divers. When I look at them, I'm thinking if I needed to fish 100 feet of water or more, so 100 to 150 feet or more than that, deep fish, that'd be a good option. A lake event in the fall. There's a couple reasons I don't do too much over the fall. Goofy, number one is I'm a biker, and there's a lot of biking events, and there's a lot of clashing for that. I have the charter, and so I was really busy with it, but yeah, I'm not opposed to doing an event. And I think the one thing that I need to bring back moving forward, it's bank angling. I think I need to have an annual bank angling event. because not everybody has the option of getting out on the water. They have to do it from the bank. And so I'm thinking each year, do one bank angling event and then change the location every year. Just go to a new spot and just have a bank angling event. Goofy, because my experience at Sayers is still I'm still kind of a novice up there. I'm not ready to talk about all that. No events yet. I'm still just figuring the lake out. I'm sure you understand. Not rolling it out. If you guys have been following me for any length of time, you know I like events. I'm an event planning fisherman. I love it. We talked about a new event tonight on this very live stream with the Sportsmans Luncheon. So it's not out of the question at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm just not ready to have the conversation about Sayers just yet. Stand by. Stand by. Great interaction tonight, guys. I really appreciate everybody coming out. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, do that. If you haven't said hi in the comments, please say hi. Let me know you're here. But ultimately, those of you who are silent, just watching in the wings, I see you. I have no idea who you are, but thank you so much for stopping in for the live stream tonight. This has been a really, really good one. So I'm going to check on both the Spruce Creek Tavern and Woody's, and I'll make a post about the Sportsman's Luncheon on the 20th. That's a Saturday at lunch, but this is all tentative. It's all penciled in, so it's not hard and fast, but I'll make a post that has all the details on it. I'll make sure it's promoted that you guys know. January. So, and just not this weekend, but next weekend is when I'm going to do it. Before I shut it down, I just want to tell folks here on Thursday, I am going to be, so not tomorrow, but the day after, I'm taking some guys out and we're going to chase some Lakers and we're going to tear them up. So if you guys want to participate with that, shoot me a message, reach out to me, make a phone call, however it is you want to, just get a hold of me. If you want to join me, it's $100 for a seat, and right now I can take up to 3 more people. So reach out. I'd love to fill the boat. I would love to catch up with you and do a little bit of fishing with you personally, and it's got to be one of the least expensive ways to get out on the water with a charter, and with a little bit of luck, there'll be just a little bit of snow, and the lake will be draped in the white snow, and it'll be one of the most incredible experiences you've ever had at the lake as you're holding a fish with 2 hands getting splashed. It'll be a good time, I promise. So if you guys want to join me, reach out to me, and we'll do it. Oh, okay. Eric, I see your comment. You sent me a text. I appreciate it. Hi, right back to you. Eric is, he was out with me for the Veterans Day out, the Heroes Day, I called it, which I'm keeping the Heroes Day, guys. I'm keeping the Heroes Day. We had such a good trip out. It was great to spend the day with some veteran brothers, and hopefully that never goes away, but I'm going to hold on to that one. The Heroes Day is a big deal. I think it's a permanent staple, and I'm so glad for all the veterans who came out and spent the day with me. And there's a lot of guys who fished with me in the past that are veterans, but they didn't come out for the Veterans Day, the Heroes Day, but they did fish with me in the past. I love that. I love that. If I could take veterans out every day, every trip, that's all I do. That's what the charter would be. I just love those guys. Yes, Robert. Yeah, the bank fishing is perfect for the kids. Absolutely. With the kids, you can teach them the knots and stuff too. The big one that I taught last year with a couple of the kiddos was the hair rig for carp. So we did the catfish and carp at 7 points. Loved that event, and I showed them the new knot and stuff, so it was good interaction with the kids. And it's carp. What I did last year is I dumped a whole bunch of corn, just 3 gallons of corn, right in front of the bank there at the 7 Points fishing area. So basically, for 3 days leading up to the event, I was dumping corn, just chumming corn there, so that when people come out, they could throw corn out and they would have a good chance at catching. And it worked. It pulled the fish in, and we were catching. So I do want to do that again. It's very family friendly. It's very accessible for everybody, even with limited mobility. that Fishin area there, 7 Points, you can get down there if you're in a wheelchair. So it was a great location. We had a great turnout, and I think we should do that every year. We should definitely have a bank angling event every single year, and I have some really cool ideas for that too. Some interaction, some giveaway, some community giveaway kind of things, some ideas. So, again, I'm an event man. It's coming down the pipe. Before I go, you guys will see that I made a few more lures. If you haven't ordered any lures from me, I do have a couple left. I made a few up since I got back from fishing and chilling. These are on my website. It's randallrydes.com, and those are the jigging lures that you've probably seen. They're doing good at the lake. There's plenty of folks sending photos of their catches, and of course you can watch the video where I go out and do a whole tutorial, show you how to use them and such. You can check that out. But I have a couple available. I would love to sell them all, of course. So just go to randallrydes.com, pick one up if you want it. If you want to purchase a lure or a seat or a charter, whatever it is, if you just need my contact information, it's all on randallrydes.com. Everything Randall is there, including my music. So that stuff, it's all growing, and it's all on randallrydes.com. If you lose track of me, that's how you find me. Ernie, thank you. Appreciate it. We're going to do it. We're going to rip some lips. So on my way out here, I want to tell you guys, kind of excited about this one. Most of you know that I am a musician, right? So I do play, obviously, I play music, right? I'm working on a song right now, and it kind of came together here over the last couple months, and the title of it says everything. The title of the song is Raise Time. The title of the song is Raystown Water Time. Raystown Water Time. And I'm working on recording that, and I'm going to make it a little video and stuff with the fishing and such. I was thinking I might do that with the year in review video, but I'm still working on that one, guys. So, but it's very exciting. There is a Raystown Water Time song coming to you real soon. A Raystown themed song. So I was excited to write it, and I think it's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and record it up and put it out there with a video. So that's coming down the pipe. We have that. We have the year in review. We have that music video coming down, which I might make one. I'm not sure yet. And then, of course, right ahead of us, we have the Sportsmans Luncheon on the 20th. And I'll make sure that I give the details in the next couple days. And then in front of that, we have fishing and grilling. So there's a lot going on in the schedule. So we have something to look forward to. But let's continue to do these live streams every Tuesday, 8 p.m. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with this right up to fishing and grilling. So when fishing and grilling comes, that's all I'm committing to. It's just over the winter to do these live streams every week. Till then, I'm still going to do the dock updates for you. So there's plenty of coming out, like material to keep in touch with you. But send me a message, shoot me a text, whatever you can do to stay as a part of this community. And I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap the channel up. I think I'm going to wrap this live stream up. So if you have any questions, you want to throw them in the comment section, do it now. Speak now, forever hold your peace. But thank you, everybody, for stopping in, guys. You guys did incredible. A lot of interaction, and that makes it very nice. On my side, whenever you guys have questions and stuff, it helps me out so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. I don't see any questions coming through, guys. So I'm going to say good night to you. Thanks for stopping in. Much love and much respect. We'll see you in a few days.